in case you were wondering, no, I did not go to Cardinals training camp to see if I could try the new cotton candy flavored burrito. That would be stupid. Although I did kind of want to try that. Welcome everybody to GG9 News, where we talk all things NFL all the time. I'm Jared Garrett, and I'm representing the 904 from the 602, and today we are talking about the Arizona Cardinals and the renovations that they are making this season to State Farm Stadium. Apologies for not having the Cardinals backdrop behind me. I'm getting ready to call the Patriots-Panthers preseason game on my channel in just a few minutes, so we'll have to settle for this for now. But I did go to Cardinals practice yesterday inside State Farm Stadium, completely free to the public, completely free parking, completely free tickets, and I had a good time. I watched some Cardinals practice, learned a lot about the team in terms of what to expect, what I liked, what I didn't like. Not the best practice for the Cardinals yesterday, but there were some really cool things that the Cards were doing at camp. They had these autographed things you could buy for $15. I got a Christian Kirk autograph ball for $15. A lot of weird merchandise that you could buy. I don't know why they had it on sale. Some of my favorites included, as you're going to see in some of these photos, a St. Louis Rams billiard set. I don't know why you can buy that. But my personal favorite, if you thought that was weird, a team that moved to Los Angeles nearly a decade ago, you thought that was weird. How about a half-empty San Francisco 49ers billiard set? That's kind of odd. Not sure why I can buy that at State Farm Stadium. But regardless, I went to camp for one reason and one reason only. I wanted to see what the heck was going on with the renovations at State Farm Stadium. There's the new Morgan Athletic Club. Couldn't get inside there. They only had sections 129 through 137 open, so couldn't even get a peek by it. But I did want to see mainly the casitas situation. For those who don't know, I did a video on it a while ago. State Farm Stadium introduced these new premium suites called casitas in the red zone. So they took out some of the seats in the red zone and they built these suites that cost an absurd amount of money, but it's basically like your own private garden. It's double-deckered. It's an interesting concept, to say the least, and I want to see how construction was going on with those, since you can buy a casita for the Saints preseason game on Saturday, so 72 hours away from when that practice was. I thought, you know what? I'll have a good chance to see what's going on with the casitas here, and I want to give you an exclusive look at what I saw, an exclusive look at what the casitas look like, and here you go. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely, positively nothing. Now, I thought, okay, you know what? Probably not going to be ready for this day, simply because that's the side of the field that the field gets rolled out on. So for those who know how State Farm Stadium works, the field rolls out from the outside and it rolls inside, so that's how it gets the natural light. It's one of the only stadiums to do that. It was the first stadium to ever do that. So you figured, okay, the Cards are practicing inside State Farm Stadium, and they're going to roll that field out, and then they'll start construction on the casitas or put those up, and everything will be good to go. So I didn't expect the casitas to be ready by any means and in place for the game, or at least for the practice, I should say. Having said that, though, I looked in the back to see if there was anything in storage. Maybe they're on beds, and no, nothing. Absolutely nothing. I saw nothing with the casitas in storage, nothing with them in place. I saw nothing that resembled a casita. So 3 hours, or 3 days, I should say, away from kickoff of their first preseason game, and the casitas completely unconstructed, unless they're put on beds. But the concept art did not show these on beds, and there's a few things with that. Number one, besides the fact the concept art didn't show these on beds, the other fact with the bed situation is that you would have thought they would have been in storage, because that is a big, big area, big garage by that red zone lot. A lot of stuff taking place in that red zone area. They store a lot of stuff in there. They've stored cars in there before. They've done a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of storage in there for the Final Four when I was there at 2024. Not the best tournament, but I did get to go to the Final Four this year. And I didn't see anything with the casitas. I saw absolutely nothing with the casitas. I thought for sure I'd be able to see something when I zoomed into the back wall, thinking it'd be tucked away somewhere in the back, but absolutely nothing. So you wonder, okay, are the casitas behind schedule? Are they going to happen? Well, they are, because you can buy them for the Saints game, and we do have a tweet that says if the casitas are ready. They're actually fully constructed right now. You see this tweet right here that said that some guy spent 24 hours getting everything ready and good to go, which means either one of two things. Number one, the concept art was a lie, because look at the concept art and you see this shot particularly. You would have thought, okay, if it's on a bed, maybe there's a tiny ramp going from the hall, from the ground level to the casita, but no, it's pretty level playing field, pretty level in terms of how you get from the hall to the casita. It's just a straight line. There's no incline whatsoever. So it's either the concept art is lying, or number two, they literally built these things in a day. Number two is they literally built these casitas, these $15,000 casitas for a preseason game. They built them in one singular day, which I have to question the structural integrity, how nice it could possibly look. It's tough to get something built in 24 hours. To build 10 casitas in this entire garden area in 24 hours, either the concept art lied or they did a really interesting job. Again, we have no photos of what this looks like. That's kind of what I wanted to get when I went to camp, and I saw absolutely nothing. But here's the other weird part about what's happening right now at State Farm Stadium. The maps don't even reflect the fact that these casitas exist. The maps do not show anything regarding the casitas. You would think that because this is taking place inside State Farm Stadium, that there would be a map showing that this is taking place inside State Farm Stadium. But there is absolutely nothing, because I was walking around the 100 level, at least the areas I could, sections 129 through 137. I was walking around those areas, and I was seeing the maps that were on the wall of State Farm Stadium, these official maps. And if you look at the maps, again, we are 3 days away from the start of the season. You would think the maps would be updated to show where the casitas are and where the Morgan Athletic Club is. But no, if you looked at these maps, you would have no idea where it is, because I looked at one of the maps and it still shows sections 138 to 144 in that red zone area behind one of the end zones. There are 7 sections that do not exist. There are 7 sections on this map that do not exist. And you thought, okay, maybe that's just one map. No, there was another map that I found inside the stadium that's showing the exact same thing. Sections 138 through 144 exist. The Morgan Athletic Club does not exist. So, riddle me that. We're 3 days away from the season, and the Cardinals have a map that's not even accurate to their own stadium. They managed to fix everything the same except the maps. Now, the signage at State Farm Stadium has never been any good. It's always been outdated. They have a whole thing about the history of the team, and they have nothing past 2006. So there's nothing about the Super Bowl run they went on in 2008, nothing about their NFC Championship appearance during the 2015 season, absolutely nothing whatsoever. You'd think they would have something about that, but nope. State Farm Stadium, the building history stops after the venue got built, so you have nothing about the Super Bowls they hosted or the National Championships they've hosted or the Fiesta Bowls they hosted or the Final Fours they've hosted. Nothing about that. The signage has always been woefully outdated at State Farm Stadium, but I would think they'd update the map. I would think they would update the freaking map of the stadium, but I don't know what's going on, because these casitas are a thing, but the map indicates otherwise, except the SeatGeek map and the map that you can get for other ticket reselling sites. That indicates that the casitas exist, and obviously you can buy the casitas because they're going to be ready for Saturday, and we know that they're ready right now, but we have no idea what they look like. We've had no photos. It is kind of interesting that we have no photos of what these look like, even though apparently they have been constructed and they have been built, and yet we have no photos. I've dug high and low. There is nothing. These things, unless the concept art lied regarding the fact that these are on beds that roll in and out, these things were built in one day. These things were built in one day, because apparently they're up now, and they weren't up on Wednesday. So, if they could somehow pull off that beautiful concept art in one day, I'd be very, very impressed. I would be very, very impressed. Am I going to get a casita? No, it's $15,000, and I don't really like sitting that low in the insert anyway. I don't see the point necessarily to that, but if you do get a casita, please let me know. If you do know someone that got a casita, please let me know. I want to see what the experience is like. I want to see what their thoughts are on the casita, because this whole situation is just very bizarre. State Farm Stadium did not update their signage indicating that the casitas were a thing, and either the concept art lied or these casitas are not going to look that nice if they were constructed in one day. Or they have the greatest team ever. Or they have an extreme home makeover style team that can just build this all in one day. But we're going to see what happens with that. We're going to see what happens with the casita situation. It'll be very interesting to see what the stadium looks like on Saturday for their first preseason game against the New Orleans Saints. But what are your thoughts on State Farm Stadium? What are your thoughts on this casita situation? Thoughts on the renovations to the stadium? Do you like the stadium? Do you not like the stadium? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And that is going to do it for this episode of JG9 News. Be sure you like and subscribe. It helps the channel out a lot. And be sure to check out my main channel, JaguarGare9, where we talk about all things NFL history all the time. Until next time, this is JaguarGare9 signing off. And as always, go Jags.